Hi, my name is Erica. I have a blog called 5 Little Monsters where I share free crochet patterns, sewing tutorials, and other craft projects. And recently I posted a pattern for a crocheted advent calendar that's made of 24 mini stockings. You can see some of them here. Each of the stockings was different as far as the design, the pattern on the, like the stripes, solid, spots, different things like that. But the basic pattern for all of the stockings is exactly the same. The only difference between all of these is where you change colors, and that creates the variety of different patterns. But the pattern itself for the stocking is pretty simple. It's just a single crocheted stocking in the round, except for the heel portion that's worked back and forth. But the toe and the cuff are both worked in the round. The heel portion was a little bit confusing to try to write the pattern for. So I had a reader who requested a video tutorial on how to do that heel portion. And I thought that would be a really good idea because it is a little bit tricky to try to explain, and it would probably be easier just to show how to do it. So today I'm going to show how to make the heel for these little stockings. I have one that's finished right here. That was one of the original ones that I made. And I'm going to be making one similar to this today, where just the heel portion is a different color. And the reason I'm going to do that is I think it's just going to be easiest to show how to work the heel when that heel is a different color so that it kind of stands out. So I've got one started. Again, you can find the pattern for this stocking advent calendar on my blog, 5littlemonsters.com. It's the number 5 and then little monsters. So I've already worked the first 8 rows of the stocking, that toe portion. And now I'm ready to move on to work the heel. So what I'm going to need to do, you can see here I haven't actually finished this last stitch, and the reason why I haven't done that, this is the last stitch of row 8 or round 8 of the toe. But I'm actually going to change colors in this last stitch by just pulling up a loop of my new color and then pulling it through. That gives you a little bit neater color change. Then the other thing that I'm going to do, like I said, the whole stocking is worked in the round with the exception of the heel. That's worked back and forth. So you actually end up, you can see that here, this is the row that we've just worked here. And then this is the next row that we're going to work, which is going to be the same color. So I don't want to cut my yarn, but because of it being worked in rows instead of rounds, you're actually going to end up on the opposite side. So I'm going to carry my green yarn underneath of my white as I stitch this first row. So for row 1, you're going to single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And by the way, that is half. There's 18 stitches all the way around, so we've worked in half of them. Now I'm just going to let this green yarn hang there. It's going to be right where we need it when we start using it when we get to the cuff portion, when we finish the heel. So I've worked 9 single crochets. Now what I'm going to do is chain 1 to turn. We're going to turn it and we're going to work back. But we're going to be decreasing on each end. And the way we do that is we're going to single crochet 2 together. So in your first stitch, you'll put your hook in, you'll pull up a hoop and then, or a loop, and then you'll put your hook in, pull up a loop again in the next stitch, and then pull through. So you've just made 1 single crochet over 2. Then you're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Once you've done that, you will end up with 2 stitches left, and you're going to single crochet 2 together over the top of those as well. So you've got 1 decrease, 5 stitches, 1 decrease, so a total of 7. We're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to decrease on each end, so that's going to leave us with 3 single crochet in the middle. So decrease, 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then decrease again. So now we have 5 in that row, and you can kind of start seeing it starting to angle in a little bit. Chain 1 and turn, decrease. This time we're going to work 1 single crochet and then decrease. So we have a total of 3 single crochet. Now you can really start to see that angled side. So what we're going to do now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to start single crocheting down these sides, the angled sides that we've just created. We're kind of creating a little wedge shape. So the way we're going to do that is before we start our next row, we're actually going to slip stitch into the side of that row. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now you're going to single crochet in that slip stitch that you just made, and you're going to single crochet in the 3 across the top. And then you're going to work 1 more single crochet in this other side. So basically the same spot where you did the slip stitch, you're going to single crochet over here. So that gives you a total of 5 single crochet now. So you've increased by 2, by 1 on each side, by working down the side. So now before we move on to our next row, we're going to slip stitch down 1 more row, chain 1 and turn, single crochet in that slip stitch, then single crochet in each of these 5 across the top from the previous row. So that's 5, and then we're going to single crochet in the side. And now do the same thing for this last row. So that's 7 in that row. Now we're going to slip stitch, chain 1, single crochet in our slip stitch, single crochet in the 7 across the top, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're going to single crochet 1 last time in the side here. And that completes our heel. So you can see it looks the same as that one. Now we're ready to move on to our cuff. And so we're going to switch back to our green. So I'm actually going to take out this last stitch that I just worked. And I'm going to do the same thing as when I switched to the white, where I'm going to pull up the white loop, but then I'm going to change to green and pull through. And that'll just give me a nice clean finish again. So now I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of the 9 stitches across the front and 1 single crochet in each of the 9 stitches across the back of the heel. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now we're going to work in these 9 stitches across the back of here. So start in our first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And there you've worked your first row of the cuff. So you can see it's starting to, you just continue on working with the green in this case. If you wanted to change color up here, I just did the last 2 rows of this one in white to match the heel. And that's it. So that's how you make the heel for the Advent stockings. If you have any more questions, if there's anything else that you were confused by, or if you need me to explain it better, feel free to contact me either through email you can email me at Erica, E-R-I-C-A, at 5littlemonsters.com, and it's the number 5 and then Little Monsters. Or you can comment on my blog, 5littlemonsters.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, pretty much any of the social media sites. And so let me know if you have any other questions, if there's anything else you would like help with. I'll try to answer it as best I can. Thanks.